Sim, já tá. Eu vou receber todo mundo aqui, tá?
Tá bom. Hello, guys. Hello. Sorry for to be a little bit late. I was with a problem with the link of the call of today, but the problem is resolved. And today we're gonna talk about responsibility. So let me introduce myself. Hello, Ayla. How's it going? A long
Hello.
time that I don't see you.
Yeah. I'm great, and you?
I'm
Can you
sorry.
hear?
Yeah. Right now I can't. My phone was connected. But do you guys can hear me very well?
Yeah.
So hi, Felipe. You're
Hi,
new.
yeah, I know to your meeting. Have you been joining other meetings on Sunday, especially?
So welcome to Talk and Talk. So let me introduce myself. My basic name is Nicole, but you can call me Nick, okay, Fe? I am 18 years old. I am not a teacher, so probably I'm gonna commit so many mistakes, and I'm gonna learn with my mistakes. And so here it's a basically talk, okay? It's a call with talkers. We're here to learn with each other, to talk, to speak up, and don't have fear. Don't be afraid, actually, to speak up. Right now I put 4 questions, but I'm gonna put more six questions in the chat. Please, guys, check your chat and tell me if you received everything. Well, okay, I'm gonna put more 6 questions, okay, guys? Just 1 minute. Um, dois, três. Yeah. Do you guys receive? So can we start? Hi, Genemis. Genemis,
guys.
are you listening
Good
to me?
evening. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Are you listening to me?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. Okay. So who will be the first person to read the first question? Please, guys, don't be shy.
I can.
Well, go ahead, please.
The first question,
Yeah.
how do you define self-responsibility? And why do you think it's important in personal and professional development? Can you share personal examples of situation where taking responsibility made a difference? For me, self-responsibility is the ability to take control over what happened in your own life. Even though if there is a good or bad situation, you has the skill to understand that happened, to try to manage the best way possible, and to learn from that too. It's important. Yeah, I think the self-responsibility, it's so difficult to achieve it, but it's about the self-development. And I think when we are growing up, we start to be more self-responsible about your behavior, your actions. But it's not easy. I think it's it needs it takes a time to achieve it, and but I think for me it's more about to be responsible for everything about your life and about what are you do, what are you I don't know, when you can hurt with your behavior or action. So it's a maturity. It's about a maturity. And yeah, that's it for me.
Well, I agree with you. I suppose to think that when we are getting a self-responsibility, we are also like getting maturity too. And sometimes it's a challenge that we are facing with ourselves, mainly when we are like leading with situations that demand like attention or like our actions. And I think that self-responsibility is also like get a sense about the results that the actions that we are doing too. Of course, that we will not make sure about like, oh, I'm gonna do that, so that will happen. We cannot be sure about that because we don't have a future ball in our hands. But it's basically about like get a sense, about the actions that you're doing, also about the people that you will impact to. I think that. And what about you, Felipe?
Well, for me, self-responsibility is a word, it's like an expression that I haven't heard before, but from your answers, I could get a glimpse of it. I think it's like his ability to understand your weakness and strengths, and then start your own goals, start to pursue these goals, and also like have some kind of self-awareness about your situation. Uh, for example, since I came here to the UK, I at the beginning I didn't bother too much about my speaking skills. I was just going through every day, and nowadays I feel like since I understood my weakness about speaking, and then I started following to practice more with other people because I didn't have too much touch with my colleagues here in the office, and now I start to understand. Oh, probably I need to uh, like I understand this kind of weakness I have, and I need to make a path to improve myself. So that's why I start to communicate more with them, and then start to join these meetings as well.
Whoa. And what about you, James? What do you think about that point?
I agree. Uh, it makes the difference because it puts us as a leader. Uh, when we leader, we are seen, reference person, and, and we are also closer to promotion in your job.
Yeah. Well, James, I don't know if it's my phone, but I didn't listen you very well.
I don't understand.
Do you guys are listening here very well?
Yeah.
Sometimes. So.
So. I don't
Oh,
understand very well. So,
yeah, I didn't understand your name is very well. So if you could just repeat or
Okay. For me, self-responsibility makes a good difference because uh, we we put but as leader, when we lead, we are seen as a reference person in your job, in your family, in your cycle, and we are also close the new promotion.
yeah, I got you and I agree with you. Okay, the second question is in what ways does self-responsibility contribute, I think, I don't know, to build resilience and coping skills, especially in challenging circumstances? How can individuals cultivate a sense of responsibility in a diverse situation? Felipe, what do you think about that question? Is the
Yeah,
second question?
yeah, I know that. I was just thinking how I can answer this question. Okay, breathing, resilience, and coping skills. Coping skills like is the ability to cope with others in a certain circumstance.
Yeah.
Okay, certain challenge circumstances. Okay, yeah, yeah. About these questions, I think that since you understand your weaknesses and strengths, and you have like some kind of work that probably you don't have too much experience to work on it, you understand directly from your self responsibility that there are certain topics in this kind of work that you don't understand or don't have the ability to solve this problem, and you have to do with others that has different abilities and strengths and weaknesses that probably can identify, or this person can identify himself and propose, oh, you don't understand this part, but I do. So I propose me to start working a certain subject of this work and this, and you will start working other subjects that it's your strength at least. And from that, you can also start looking at the job that this other guy is doing and understand how you can make this kind of work in the future at least. So you make it like you understand your weakness, your strengths, you are working based on your strengths, but you're also reinforcing your weakness to make it strength for the future to live.
Wow. Oh, now please choose another person to answer that question.
Okay, then, James, can you answer the question number two?
Okay. I think it helps because when uh, when your team your job or squad has a demand, the person with self-responsibility will look for answers for our team. Uh, mm, the person does not in a position of passivity, but he try our best to get answers and it helps other people.
Please, your name is choose one person.
Uh, Repeat, please.
Oh, choose one person can be Ayla or me to answer that question?
Oh, Ayla.
So guys, it's for me, self-responsibility contributes to build the resilience. What a ways. I think when I think especially about the job environment, I think it's more common. Example, because if when I assume something, and there are people who need my work to solve that problem, and even though when I failed, when I because I might make mistake, but I think when that's happening, I think I can use this to improve my strategies, to improve my self development, and to achieve my goals, to achieve my result, and because unfortunately there is some situation when you have the we have the responsibility to achieve something, but sometimes it doesn't happen what are you would like it. So it's happening, and you need to to be patient, to be honest, and so I do my best, but I failed, for example, but I was disposed to try again, to change to change my ways, for example. So I think it's about self-responsibility. When you have a responsibility, but you know you sometimes you can't solve everything, and you can fail, but you can change this, you can improve, and to use the bad result to improve, and this way to achieve it, what are you want. It's difficult to explain, but I think more or less it's what my opinion about it.
But you're right. I agree with you. It's like when you're like we are humans, so basically isn't all the time that we're gonna like resolve everything, because yeah, sometimes we will like be failure some things, but what is important, and like we take to ourselves and like think, oh, I'm not gonna give up, and yeah, it's possible to try again, and that is a kind of self responsibility to ourselves. About that second question, I was thinking about a moment that I was record. Actually, I can say that I built up my self responsibility when I was in a group of I think was 20 students, and like my teacher. Basically, the story is that my school was planning a project, a literature project, and my team was responsible to actually to create a paper favela. So it was a big paper favela, and like I remember that my teacher got me 20 people, and that 20 people wasn't the best people to, like, it wasn't the best engaged people, you know. So basically I was the leader, and I built up my self-responsibility then, because I maybe I could develop a patience, and I could also light up my my leadership experience. So was a big self-responsibility that I got. And like, thanks God, because everything was perfect, but wasn't so easy, you know, because we are leading with people at the same time that we are like get a big responsible, because if somebody in your group is getting like a mistake, like maybe the rest of people can like commit that mistakes, or can also like judge that person because that person commit that mistakes, and you are there to stop it, you know, you're there to like put in the people's mind that, hey, we are here to work together. So reading that question, I could remember of that memory, amazing memory, and at the same time a little bit hard memory, because like, yeah. That's it. Isla, can you read the third question, please?
Okay. What a role does self-awareness play in self-responsibility? How can being aware of one's strength and weakness enhance the ability to take charge of one's life and decisions? Oh my gosh. Let me see.
And weakness is fraqueza. If you don't know the translation,
Okay.
it's fraqueza.
So guys, I think self-awareness, it's I would say it's self-awareness has a good point about the to claim the self-responsibility, because when we have enough knowledge about your strengths and weakness, I think you can face better your challenge. I think, because if I know I'm not good at about to do something, to be, I don't know, to be creative, to be a good leader, like Nick said. Congratulations for your experience. And I think you can to learn how to improve it. And I think you when you do this, when you has this conscious self-awareness, conscious, I think you need to you can be able to improve your knowledge in that way, to improve your self-responsibility. I think it's about it, more about it. So I think sometimes at my work, there is some situation when I I don't have enough knowledge to solve some problems that's happening. And when I noticed this, I try to learn how to know more, to study, to search, to ask for help, and but don't to be silent. To try to look for a solution, and I think it's also about self-responsibility, and because we don't know about some everything, but when we have uh, uh, when we have vontade, disposition, oh my gosh, it's running a lot here, you guys. I think when you have disposition to improve it, I think you are exercising your self-responsibility. That's it, guys. And how about you, Felipe?
Uh, yeah, like I was thinking about in the past when I started to rethink about this question. Uh, for example, from 2008 to 2014, I spent like from these 6 years, 6 years, I spent one entire year playing RuneScape. It's online game. So it was a lot of time I spent playing this game. And between this time, I was in my school and then went to high school. And I had like to study for my entrance exams. And I knew that I started to understand that I was spending like too much time playing online games, and I had to study for my entrance exam. And yeah, sorry, I was reading the questions again. Like from this time, I started to understand my lack of like self control to put my effort in another thing that can be useful to my life. Otherwise, I probably would be spending like until nowadays playing games and doing nothing for my life. And from that this point, like it was a turning point. So at least 2014, it was a turning point where like I switched entirely from gaming to studying, and then I managed to work hard understanding my lack of skills in certain subjects for the interest exam, and work like almost every day without stopping to get to the uh, college. And from that point, I it was just a matter like from that for that year, I managed to change entirely my person, and based on my understanding about my weaknesses at least, because at that time I didn't have too much strength, but I had a lot of weaknesses, and I managed to understand everything and what was needed to change that, and over the year I managed to build up a lot of strength. So that's how I managed to go through college and my master's, and now at my PhD here. And I don't regret nothing about doing that. I think that most of people wouldn't regret. And yeah, like this kind of understanding about your self responsibility, about your weaknesses, can help you change at least your life and make good decisions for your future as well. And if you like apply this to someone else, for example, you can see that someone is addicted to gaming or grinding. Um, it's really difficult for you like to start speaking with this person about this topic, because sometimes when this person is really into it, they don't want to listen to others' point of view. So it's a matter like of you yourself starting understanding your weaknesses and make a plan to change this at least over the years, because it's not like a fast change. You need to understand and start building small steps to go like improving step by step your strengths. And for this question, I choose you, Nicole, to answer it.
Okay. Well, I actually oh first I'm actually appreciate your English because your sounds like a really American guy. Are you a Brazilian? No,
I am
you're
Brazilian.
not.
I am Brazilian. I am speaking with a lot of Britannic people here, like with a lot of British actually.
Whoa. Okay. Okay, about that questions, what role does self-answer play in self-responsibility? Well, like, I think like we can create a self-responsibility throughout our answer, like actually, sorry. Um, well, let me be more specifically, like self-awareness, right? Like self-awareness, I think it can bring many, like much more integrity in our life, and to lead with then get a self-responsibility. And I agree about what Felipe said about like step by step we can like super our weakness, and through through that we can also like improve our yeah, our self-responsibility spirit, I can say that. Well, let me see more about. Well, I can say that because sometimes, mainly when I am like speaking English, I can we or not only me, but also like I think most of people who are learning English face that part of our life. Like we get self awareness, and sometimes we are really with Instagrams to speak up. And I think like speaking English is a self responsibility too, because sometimes I don't know if you guys think that way, but I think like at the same time that I am speaking, I am thinking English, and I am like so taking attention like wow, maybe is that person understanding me? I don't know, but my brain's like that. And I think that like our communication, it's a kind of self-responsibility because we are speaking English, and we are actually learning with each other, and at the same time like improving our English speaking. So, and I confess that at the beginning I was really with insegurances, but is what about Philip said, with our weakness we can like step by step super that, and like strive our responsibility. So that's what I think. And what about you, Genemis? Genemis, yeah.
It helps because knowing the weakness point, uh, I can work on them to become stronger, to improve my weakness. Furthermore, I can know where my skills could help me more assistively for other people.
Okay. Well, guys, we have 50 minutes. Yeah. So, question for Genemis, can you read the question for, please?
Are there cultural or social factors that influence the way people perceive and practice self-responsibility? How do different cultures approach the concept of personal responsibility? For me, I believe so. There are people who are very shy and have difficulty with this. There are people who don't know how to receive negative feedback. There are people who always waits to worry solve their problems. These profiles of people will have a lot of difficulty with responsibilities. However, this is a skill that can be trained. It's possible, but it's very difficult.
Okay. Don't worry with that, okay? It's normal. Well, Isla, can you answer that question, please?
The same.
And also, yeah, question 3. Actually, I am appreciating
Number
your
4.
no, yeah, 4. And I am appreciating your courage because it's raining a lot. I can see like
Yeah, it's terrible. I think I agree. It's about the influence, from the culture or societal factors, it influence people perceive or impact self-responsibility. Yeah, I think I don't know if I will able to explain my thoughts well, because it's difficult for me, but I think I can't remember now a example to help me to say it now, but I think it's when there is for example, a strict society, for example, or society or authorities. I think people can have different behavior about self-responsibility. I think for them it could be stronger when we notice, for example, some governments that are so authoritative, and the people there, I think they have more perception about self-responsibility than Brazilian people, for example, sometimes, and it's I don't know, I'm not sure, but that's my point of view about when we don't have enough self-responsibility, our community behavior. In my city, for example, it's my example better. And when I see sometimes people through the church away and on the street, and they don't worry about the consequence of this behavior, this bad behavior, and but the same facts it could be from the people from the other countries. It's intolerant. It's a intolerance behavior. I don't know, but I think it's changing. It influenced our behavior, our our commitment about us and about others. It's difficult, but it's more or less what I think about. I agree. It's influenced, and it depends on the how commitment we have. We can be more or less self-responsible. That's it. Janemis, would you like to return?
I think you're muted on your mic, Jen.
Janemis, can you speak now? I think you are on mute. No.
Try to look at the microphone level on your laptop or computer. Probably it's set on 0. Oh.
Oh. Well, so Felipe, do you want to answer that question?
Yeah, for me, I remember saying from a book I have read before. I don't recall the title for the book, but there's a thing that tells you like your behavior is the average of your 5 nearest person behaviors. So let's say you have 5 friends and 5 close friends, and they are, for example, racist. If you're living in that kind of environment, you start creating this kind of behavior as well. But this can be either on the bad side, let's say being a racist, or on a good side, for example, being a well-behaved group of persons that study, works, and do a lot of self-improving work, like say practicing English in a group, and you will start thinking about doing this kind of things because you are start to get like some self-awareness because you look at them and start what they are doing, and you want to do the same in a good way at least. There's some bad things that can happen because if the group is a group composed of bad people, you start doing bad things. So it's like a fight, a knife with two tips. So yeah, it can be good or bad. It depends the group you choose to live around. Yeah, and Nicole, can you answer this question?
Of course, I can. I agree with both of you guys about what you say, Felipe, that like if we are in the space with bad people with bad ideas, maybe we can we can involve it with that kind of ideas and maybe we can adopt because our brain it's really I don't know what to influenciar, but influenciado by this kind of their ideas or this kind of actions as Ayla was talking about. And I think we must to don't let them lead us, and it is in that part that our self-responsibility is really important to us. We need to get our self-responsibility that we need to be with us. We need to take us and like of course that we need of course, for example, we have to to get our opinion. Oh my gosh. We need to get our opinion, and don't don't let the people influence us with bad ideas. And we have to get in mind that we have the power to be free to think and to get our point. And don't let people say, oh, if I'm saying that, you need to think that way, because we're living in a big society with big ideas, and with people who have good ideas and bad ideas. So we don't know if that person that we are talking have good ideas, because that idea that she or he are talking can be a bad idea. So it's really important. We need to have a self responsibility to to get our point. That's what I think. Well, guys, we have 4 minutes. I think we can answer more one question. So, yeah. So, Ayla, can you choose one of these 4 questions that I like to answer? Choose one of these 5, 4 questions.
5.
Yeah, we have number 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So choose one of these numbers.
Number 6. In your opinion, how does self-responsibility impact mental and emotional well-being? Can taking charge of one's thought and emotional lead to a more fulfilling life? Hard. But I think when we got self responsibility, a real self responsibility, and when you can't you can't know, when you don't be responsible about something or about someone, you probably I think this probably will affect your mental emotional well-being. In my case, for example, I feel so bad. I feel so guilt when I let people down, and people need my work, for example, to solve their problems. And I think for me it's difficult don't to be responsible, to be self-responsible, and because it's I think I can imagine if I can be unresponsible, irresponsible or responsible. If I assumed something, I need at least to say something, to give them some oh my gosh, I forgot the word. When we are back, I forgot. Pelo menos você tem que dar uma justificativa, algo que tenha impedido você de cumprir e tal. Eu acho que about the work environment, it's so important to be self responsible, because your activity can be so dangerous, can be so harmful, and there is a consequence about it. And I for me it's I feel so bad, and when I can give them what I must give them. So, into Nikki.
I'm sorry. About the questions, I think in two ways. It's about, yeah, question 6, right? Yeah, about mental health. Like, get a self-responsibility, like in two ways. I can think in an individual way, in a social way. In an individual way, it's when I am not like, I am not getting a sense, for example, that I am like, for example, I am tired, but you're really focused on that and you want so much to get something, for example, a dream or a work, and you're actually like studying to get this work, for example, but you're tired. So, and when you don't get a self responsibility to think, well, it's time to stop a little bit, to drink water, to sleep for, I don't know, like 10 minutes, take a sleep for just 10 minutes, just to, like, to recompose. It's a kind of self responsibility associated with mental health, because if you don't get a self responsibility in that moment, you need to know that in the future your mental health will be really affected, and you will be more a tired person than a productive person. And in another way, we can think about in a social way, all the time that we are talking, we need to get a responsibility about the things that we are talking, because maybe our words can affect, all the time our words are affecting people around us. And if you're talking a bad thing about, I don't know, even if you are kidding with that person, maybe, or even a small word that you just say, that word can affect that person and can affect in a good way. Or, for example, when you're kidding and you think, oh, it's just for fun, maybe the another person is not like recording the thing that you just say as a fun way. So in that part, we need to be responsible too. And that's what I think. What about you, Felipe?
Yeah, I thought about the same answers that you gave. We have two fronts to answer this question. The first one is, let's say you are anxious to get some kind of results. For example, I went to college, so I start studying for the entrance exam, and then I go over and over reading books and without stopping, without having some kind of rest. And this kind of behavior can affect your life at least. And the second front I choose like is also in a social way. Uh, it can be either how your behavior mistreats others, and also like without speaking, your behavior can affect an entire family. Let's say living with uh, my wife. I don't have a wife. I just gave an example. Living with my wife and have kids. But my personal behavior is a person who likes to gamble, for example, and I start spending the family's money in gambling, and this gave some issues for our family. So this kind of like social behavior affects the entire family. It can also influence affects other people by the way you speak or how you treat others as well. So there are two fronts for this question.
Well, Genemis. So, guys, our time is over. our time is over, but I put a link on the chat and you guys can give. Okay, I hope you resolve the problem of your microphone, James. So guys, I put a link on the chat, and that link you guys can give your feedback about this call. And that it was really, really good talk about how like responsibility with you guys. I hope see you guys much more. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much for the meeting.
You.
Bye bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye bye.